We have two key members of the so-called bipartisan gang of 8 senators working on a compromise immigration proposal. Word coming this weekend that an agreement is near. We'll ask Senators Schumer and Flake about that in just a moment. But first, I want to go around quickly with our first of 2 political roundtables to frame what's at stake in these debates. Joining us, the former senior advisor to President Barack Obama, now an NBC contributor, David Axelrod. Former congressman and chair of the National Republican Campaign Committee, former Virginia Congressman Tom Davis, Gene Robinson of the Washington Post, Peggy Noonan of the Wall Street Journal. Welcome all. We're going to try to pack about 2 hours of show into 1 hour. David Axelrod, on immigration, a lot of Republicans don't believe the president wants to sign an immigration bill this year. They believe that he wants the politics, he wants the political issue, because it's been so successful for Democrats. True or false?
Well, I understand their paranoia because it was a terribly difficult issue for them and continues to be. He wants this accomplishment. This is a legacy item for him. There is no doubt in my mind that he wants to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Tom Davis, can Republicans even start talking to Hispanics on other issues if this issue isn't put behind them, no matter how it turns out?
Well, first of all, they'll get a vote. You may get, like we did in 2006, a House version and a Senate version that are very, very different, not reconciled. But at that point, everybody will have their talking points. And the answer is sure. I think the conversation will continue, and I think you'll have a good Republican midterm.
You know, Peggy, what's been interesting about this week is all of the big polarizing issues of the last 2 generations, culturally, all popped up in 1 week, and one of it had to do with the Supreme Court, with gay marriage, with abortion. This culture wars, normally when it comes back, it's something that's helpful to Republicans. Is it good this time for the conservative movement to have these issues out there?
I don't know. Yeah, I think all of these cultural issues, as I guess we call them, have been major issues in America for almost half a century, really. The abortion argument was going on 50 years ago. Roe came 40 years ago. It is hard to resolve these issues because they're not just cultural issues. They are moral issues, and Americans feel differently about them. So I think one way or another, they'll probably be bubbling out there for a long time, and it's not the worst thing.
So maybe a resolution in the law, but not in the way people feel. But is it also a sign the economy's coming back to you?
Well, it usually is, isn't it, when people can think about other things other than jobs. But, you know, I think some of these cultural issues are being resolved. I mean, you know, gay marriage before the Supreme Court, obviously a hot-button issue. But you look at the polls and you see 58% in our poll, Washington Post poll, in favor of it. 80% of adults under 30. That sounds like a decision rather than a question on that issue.